CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode.
Like Padme Amidala before me, I am ready to die for democracy.
I think our normal MO of kind of smash and grab may not work here.
So, just grabbing now.
Oh shit, my moms are trapped inside of a giant, hellish nightmare of a robot. Of course I'm coming inside to get them.
Point me at the right thing to do, and I will do it for you.
The reason why this is a polearm, it's still technically part of the railgun.
So you're gonna just shoot through the opening? Speaking of Captain.
What do you mean you need to go?
Oh boy.
Captain, you have 3 tiny versions of the Highwayman, which as a reminder was the thing that Logan suddenly was remotely piloting to try to kill you all in that very disastrous session. Just 3 little drone versions of that. Bank is here and tore the door open, and Arya's tearing into one of them, but they are shooting at you, and you are doing Fast and the Furious stunts to avoid them currently while Dorian is calling you.
Okay. So these are, even if they're mini, they're still mech scale, correct?
Correct.
They are not pilot scale.
No, they're 4x4. Sorry. They're 4x4x4. They're pilot scale.
Okay. So we mentioned earlier that the collateral, that Sebriel is on a collision course with Azara. Is Sebriel still here?
Nope.
He is gone. Okay.
He's gone. Uh-huh. You did not see him go. As far as you know, the door didn't open. You don't know what happened there.
Okay. In that case, I am going to mark down a shotgun.
Okay.
And Laren is going to first, hand the shotgun over to where Sebriel should be, realize he's not there, curse under his breath, and then call for Tempestia and toss the shotgun back to her.
Yeah, you hear her catch it. What's the plan? Does she open up the back doors and shoot these people?
I think yes, that is exactly what is happening.
Phenomenal. Okay, I think what this is just going to be a maneuver where you're just trying to drive in such a way that she can take them out.
Okay.
You're trying to line up the shots for her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let me see real quick if there's anything fancy I can pull with this. I don't. I think this is going to be just a normal pushing myself.
Okay. I will say that you still have... What I will say here is that narratively, Bank being here and Tempestia being here is making up for the difference in the tier. So I think you're at risky standard to do this. It's a risky standard 2 dice to start because of your 2 dice in maneuver.
Okay, then yeah, I am going to push myself to get an extra die. I was going to ask if Tempestia, whom I have 4 beliefs with, can assist me.
Oh, she's assisting.
But it sounds like, yeah, she already is. Okay, wonderful. What is the collateral?
For you, in this moment, here's what I think happens. Memo can detect that this weird Baron Bastardos AI proxy is going after Azara. And she tells you that if you're willing, she can go and fight the Baron off for the whole squad, which will give you an extra die here because it's like going to scramble the security, but she'll be separated from you.
Okay. So when you say separated,
I mean that she can still connect with you.
Like, she can't, she's not going to be like right here directly with me.
Right.
But like being an AI in, the whatever computer back at Pizza, she's not running off and potentially like stuck here.
So here's the thing, right? No signals can get in or out of this place.
Oh.
She is typically running off of, a server held
so
within
she could
Pizza
get
HQ.
stuck. Okay.
She could get stuck. In this one instance, it could happen. It's not likely, and you know that, like, Goliath is going down. But there is a risk.
I think if it's her idea, Laren will go along with it.
We could even get a moment there of Nemo saying just like, trust me.
All right. Do it.
Okay, get an extra die.
Okay, so this was going to be risky standard? Or limited? Standard? Okay.
Risky standard.
So 2 plus pushing myself gets to 3, plus the collateral gets me to 4.
Yep.
Whew.
Close. Okay, we got it.
We got a 5. So you do it, right?
Yes.
I think you get all 3, right? This is a combo of you.
Oh
and
man,
Bank.
is it literally just Laren just like pulls like a little like swerving donut as the doors like pop open and just in a line as they go across, Tempestia just pops each one, just pop, cock, pop, cock, pop.
I think she gets 2. I think Bank gets the 3rd.
All right, that's perfectly acceptable.
And then you're free to go meet up with the other 3. Baron Bastardos is being held back by Memo. I'm going to respect that in the fiction. The drones that were nearby have been temporarily waylaid, unless there's consequences, then we might deal with that. You'll note there's a risky consequence that I have here.
Yep.
But don't worry, I'm not using that. Well, I should say.
Okay.
I'm using that. It's happening off screen.
Delightful.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and real quick, we're going to jump back to the folks breaking through the door and all that stuff. But before we do that, I think that Azura, you can join back up with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that just happens. And what I would like is if we could get a little check-in on that OVA from you, Jake.
Oh, yeah, sure. This is a part of the OVA that's like sort of one of the quieter moments. It's like the classic shot of a grizzled protagonist in red, like swallowing a bunch of pills, washing his face in a mirror. And the OVA is stylized that when the camera sort of pans up, Red is looking at Tempestia through the mirror.
Oh, that's great. Love that. So, you've opened this sort of like light Avi scale hole in this wall. Dorian, you just barely dodge some fire going through. I think you can see the guards. I think you'd have to get out of the way because they're just like unloading, right? Like the whole wall behind you all is being absolutely scorched with like this repeated like weird plasma bolts that they're shooting. What do y'all do?
So I'm inside that room now, right?
You would need to give me a roll to do that. You didn't get hit by these bolts, right? Like they sort of like, they bounced off of Homer, but you would need to roll to like get through without taking any damage.
Can I see straight through?
Oh
where
yeah,
that
you can
dome
see.
is?
That's what I was saying. Like perched
Excellent.
as you were, you could see everything.
And the doctor is behind that dome, right?
Correct.
And I looking at it. I assume the dome is probably pretty sturdy.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to take a shot at the doctor.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Because I have the sharpshooter special ability, which when I push myself, I can ricochet a shot to hit a target indirectly.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit.
So I clock him, check out the dome, scan around the room, and pop.
My man is done.
Let's go.
Well, let's see how this goes.
From outside.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand what's happening here. Okay. I guess this is a bombard.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. I mean, this is typically, further away than human sight, but I think the fact that this is a weird ricocheting shot, right? I think Bombard still makes the most sense here.
Definitely pushing myself.
you don't, you can, but you are an Avi scale person shooting a human being.
Yeah. I need to push myself to ricochet around the
sure.
dome.
Sure. Yeah. So you can get an extra die anyway, but you're starting at, even though he's a tier above you because of the difference in scale here, you're starting at risky great.
Am I pushing myself with myself or with...
You're in a vehicle, so you should spend a quirk.
Okay, cool. That will be sensitive controls for sure.
Totally.
Can I offer you an assistance?
You 100% can.
Yeah. And I think the way I do this is... Remember how I said the scary weapon opens up like a maw, trying to split open? It basically is the end of the barrel of the gun. So, to offer some covering fire, I will literally lay down cover fire and start blasting.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah.
Hey, Dorian, can you give me your topo beliefs, please?
Yeah, of course. My topo beliefs are, Topo is a survivor, and they would drop me given the chance. And then Topo is straight and to the point to a fault.
Straight and to the point as Topo does a weird ricochet shot to hit a doctor.
That is the straightest way to the point right now.
So that's 2 stress from Dorian. How are you taking those, Topo?
Yeah, so I'll take one as die and 1 as effect.
Okay, so that'd be 4 dice, risky extreme.
Yep. I got a pair of 4s.
You got a pair of 4s. So you hit, right? What's this bolt look like?
So this is my, let me mark it off. This is my fine heavy cannon.
Okay. And what's that shoot? Does it shoot like slugs?
I think it does.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's, this is a stealth snipe.
Right.
Protocol type of mech. I think because a lot of targets I've gone against have kind of energy defenses and whatnot. I think, it is capable of doing energy blast on a clear day, but I think when this is we are setting up sniping a target, it is just a depleted uranium slug, basically.
Jeez.
Which allows it to bounce off.
Yeah, totally.
More easily than a blast of whatever kind.
Totally.
Yeah, and it is a, soda can sized slug.
I think it's got to be bigger than that coming from an Avi.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a football, probably, at least.
Yeah, like a 5-gallon bucket, kind of.
Yeah. Where does it hit him?
Ooh,
You mean for the head?
I think it's the head. I think
that makes a lot of sense.
Everything's kind of calm down, focused in that moment. You see just the sides of the vision go dark, tunnel vision in.
Yeah.
And follow it through. It has to be the head because that's how Topo rolls.
Totally. And in that moment, I don't know if you remember this, Mark. You took a collateral die in the last downtime.
Oh, no.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And that collateral die was the next time that you were going to pilot your Avi, you were going to merge with the vehicle.
Yeah.
And I think it's in this moment when you concentrate so hard and you see this man who did this to you. I don't think that there's a place where you end and your Avi begins anymore.
Yep.
I think that your limbs merge with the controls.
Yeah.
And we don't need to get more graphic than that. It does not look awesome in your cockpit. But you hit him, right?
Yep.
If this were anyone else in any other situation, if this were a regular human being, he'd be dead. But maybe you should have known that Dr. Hoppus would not be satisfied just experimenting on others.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And you see this as the bullet hits his head and you're sure he's dead. His body slams forward into this bulletproof glass in front of him that's holding Barrett, your friend. And his head is gone as far as you can see. There's just a smear, just like a sludge that's on this glass. It's disgusting. And then you see, as he stands back up, and his head reforms.
Yeah.
Now,
Normal.
you've done extreme damage. I'm not taking that away from you, to be clear. Like, I would not dream of doing that. But what happens here is this is a clock. This is an 8-step clock. You've already done 5 ticks of it. But this is an 8-step clock to kill, this man.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and put that up here. And yeah, he's a weird slime man. Like, he can reform. The consequence here is not anything that's like negative for you. He's fucking booking it. This is a sealed area, but he doesn't need to be in range. There's side rooms. And so this is not resistible. He's just going into one of these side rooms, and he's basically going to barricade himself in there. You're going to have to deal with everybody else out here before you can get to him, basically.
Cool.
Okay. That's Topo's great first strike.
Good job, Topo.
How about the rest of you all? We've got Azara here, and we've got Dorian here. What are you two up to?
Dorian, I'm going to hand you the detonator. Go get your mom's.
Fuck. Part of me wants to leave the Avi here to continue doing the work of opening this thing up. Because, remind me again, you're in a medium-sized Avi, right?
I'm in a light Avi.
Both these Avis
cool.
could get in now.
Yeah, you're good. You've done the job, soldier.
Great. That's awesome to hear.
Says Dorian over the comms.
Look, there's some explosives that I think you can get in. But are you gonna be okay?
Fucking no, but I gotta be. So I will catch y'all. I'm gonna go help out the captain.
Oh?
And I'm going to leave my very scary weapon here to keep the door wedged open.
Sure.
Nice.
And I think Dorian just like basically wedges it to where it will, unless they use a sizable force to remove the pole arm, it will stay there and will keep it wedged open.
Sure.
I think just for good measure, fires another round just in the direction.
Sure.
Yeah, just try to see if we can hit anyone with the stray.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going after your mom's.
I am going after my mom's now. I'm leaving my pole arm here to leave.
Yeah, totally.
So y'all can do your thing.
Great.
Okay.
And then I would like to go into the room and help Topo.
Yeah, so Topo isn't in the room yet. Neither of you are in the room. What I think this looks like is either you would need to give me a maneuver to get into the room without taking any harm, or you would have a guaranteed consequence, but you could go ahead and do something like a battle or destroy rather. Does that make sense?
Could I pitch you on going into battle but not getting any damage because of my fine optical camo?
Oh, that's interesting.
My chameleon cloak.
Yeah, I'm very into this. We haven't seen you use this in a hot minute.
Yeah,
totally. Mark that. You can just go in and do a battle. Are you just going to attack these guards?
Yeah, I mean, unless over the comms, I think I'd say like Topo, who should I hit first? But if I don't hear anything, I'm just going to hit the guards.
I think you hear a response, but it sounds less like a voice and more like a over processed mechanical growl.
Topo, are you okay?
Fine. Get him. Without any more precision out than that. Get him.
All right. Normal. Nothing to be alarmed by.
Yeah, deeply normal.
Just gonna file that one aside for later.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and compartmentalize all my fears. Put it over here. Yeah, I think in that case, I'm gonna try to battle. I think I'm just gonna take out the guards, try to clear a path.
Totally.
For Topo.
Okay, I think that's a battle. Because you have scale on them, even though they have a tier on you, you're going to be starting at risky great.
Okay.
And you're starting with 1 die in battle. What do you want to do?
I have 2 die in battle.
Oh, sorry. You have 2 die in battle. My apologies.
Am I still accessed?
You know what? I will let you clear that damage since that collateral.
Thanks, Memo.
Will respect the fiction. Memo's got your back.
I'm going to push myself.
Mm-hmm.
You get an extra dice. The quirk I'm burning is hidden claws.
Hell yeah.
I have Wolverine sort of claws.
Uh-huh.
On the like a fox.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I'm like attacking from the shadows. It's probably a little scary, I imagine.
Yeah, totally. Oh, it's very scary.
Okay, so it's 3 dice.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a collateral die?
Yeah.
I'm always happy to hear.
Yeah. I think Belladonna's going to get a harm this time.
Ooh.
Just a harm.
Remind me, cohorts.
They have 3 levels of harm.
3 levels of harm.
So she's not at any harm right now. It would go to weak, and then impaired, and then broken.
I'm going to push right to the edge. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
So it's basically a 3-step clock for me of Belladonna getting killed.
Uh-huh.
And I'm feeling one of them.
Uh-huh.
That's fine.
Health is a resource.
Health is a resource, and I'm using it, sadly. 3 dice. It's a 5.
5's pretty good. So with a 5, what I think happens here is that you've already taken out one of the guards before they can even react. You get a second slice in. I think you're probably like here-ish, like just behind them probably.
Yeah.
You do a nothing personnel, kid. I think you get a slash in on this one who is hurt but not dead, the middle one. And then the last one is like shooting at you, but you're twice their size easily, probably like 3 times their size. Like they're not doing shit to you. But I think what this is representative of is you are 3 out of 6 on their clock.
Nice.
Before they are fully dealt with. I think that this is not a consequence, but just respecting the fiction. The 2 like admin / engineer people who were in here besides Dr. Copies run in the opposite direction.
That makes sense.
They could see that Dr. Copies was being targeted. They want none of that. So they're out of the picture. They're not hanging out. Barrett is not conscious as far as you can see. This is not a consciously piloting. This is using Barrett's brain and combat abilities without his consent. It is not a cool thing.
Sick. Bad.
Yeah, not great. But hey, on the plus side, hey Topo, you can get into this room now with no effort.
I will.
Because they're no longer shooting at the door.
I will do that.
Okay, do you want to clear out these guards? Or do you want to rush for Dr. Cupis?
Wow. I think, almost involuntarily, kind of lashing out at the guards with the shoulder tentacles as I gallop past. But yeah, definitely running towards the door that Cupis went into.
That makes a lot of sense. I think this is probably a battle, unfortunately, which you don't have a dice in. But you do have scale, so it is going to be 0 dice, but you're at risky great.
Would you like some help?
Yeah, let's get some help in there.
Can I real quick get Azara's beliefs about Topo?
You sure can. Topo and I are both outsiders. They've got my back. Topo is focused on the moment. They can ground me in the present. Finally, Topo is my best friend, or whatever is closest to that on Legel. Stealth Bros for life.
Hell yeah. Mark 3 stress, but Topo, you get 3 benefits. So you are now at extreme controlled 1 dice.
You know what? I'll take that.
You're just going to roll the 1 dice?
I am.
1 die?
Yeah.
Wow.
Extreme controlled is really also fits narratively with what's happening with
Topo.
Totally.
Yeah. That's a 1.
That's so
1.
funny.
Okay. It's okay.
It fits.
It does fit. There's a couple things going on here. By the way, I think that Laren, you're done in that room and you can be back in this one. Bank is berserking. Bank does not come with you. Bank is just tearing into the walls of Goliath. He'll calm down later, probably.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and be driving back into this room, right? I think that we've got Homer's up here now. And you'll note a couple things. Thing 1, Azara, I had a risky consequence that I didn't use.
You sure did.
That's weird, isn't it?
Weird.
You'll also note, how many is this now? Oh, that's right. I have 8 rival moves.
Oh, sick.
I don't know if anybody thought about this, but you have 2 rivals on this mission.
We
and
sure
there's 4
do.
of you. Here's the thing that happens. Homer goes to swipe and to take out these two guards. And before you can even do it, like a fox got in with optical camo, turns out they make that human-sized. Sebriel has uncloaked behind them and has stabbed both of them in the jugular. They are dead. This clock is no longer a concern. Sebriel is now standing in between the two of you. And Topo, I'm sure that Topo would have piloted Homer immediately towards the door and start like breaking it open and so on and so forth. Right?
Yeah.
Problem, you can't move. Neither of you can move. A rival move I actually already spent quite a while ago. Both of your Avies have been deactivated remotely by Sebriel. He is holding in his hand some kind of device. You can see it. And it is somehow interfacing with your two Avies. You let him into your base. He has stashed something on your Avies, on all of your Avies, that means he can deactivate it at a moment's notice. And that has happened. You're both sealed into your Avies.
Oh, no.
You could get out, you could roll things. Topo might have a harder time with that.
Yeah. might be a trick.
Might be a little bit difficult. Azara, you are seeing this. And Sebriel looks back at you and he says, "It's like I said, Azara. You're going to help me be the hero. Take the level 2 harm incensed.
That's fair.
You can resist this. That's the
how would I
risky
resist?
part. The rest of that, those were 2 of my 8 rival moves to do all the rest of that. That last bit, the harm, that's the consequence I didn't use yet.
Great. It'd be a resolve resist, wouldn't it?
It would 100% be a resolve resist.
Well, here's the thing. I'm at 6 of 9 stress.
Uh-huh.
And I only have 2 dice in resolve.
Well?
And because I have the move tough as nails, the penalties from harm are one less level severe.
Well, sounds like you're just gonna hang out and be incensed.
I'm just nihilistic and furious that this fucking... I'll read out my belief about Sebriel.
Please.
Sebriel is a hollow, vile man. Hating them is cancerous to me.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
but
true. Accurate.
I mean, fair. What a piece of shit this guy is.
What a piece of shit.
That said,
uh-huh.
I have something called a fine security cracker,
uh-huh.
which is a well-made toolkit used for disabling mechanical and electronic locks.
Phenomenal. Here's what we're going to do. I think the 2 things are going to happen here at once. I don't think you can drive the van through the hole. I don't think that will work. Do you get out at this point, Laren?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, there one point of order I want to double check on. So on my last go, I pushed.
Yep.
Which I just kind of marked down in stress.
Yep.
Should that have been marked down on the truck instead?
Oh, it should have been marked down on the truck instead. You can remove that stress.
Okay, which brings the question of how exactly are we handling this truck? Is it a temporary vehicle?
Yeah, it's a temporary vehicle. Don't worry. The truck is
Okay.
basically not going to matter for the rest of this.
Okay.
Maybe I'm going to eat my words, and the truck's going to be the most important thing we've ever done.
That still informs my Laren's decision making because that would mean that the truck's clock is at 2 out of 4.
True.
From breaking down, and we still need to leave. So if
you've got
I
a massive
busted,
hole behind you.
Well, yes, but we all got carried in on the truck. If the truck blows up, we have to find another way to get carried out.
That's true.
So I think Laren is like, let's not push it, and would also get out with Tempestia because he would not want to drive the truck in and have it instantly explode and not have a way out.
Totally. Then I think it's as you are clambering through the door. In fact, I think you've just gotten through the door that you see Sebriel do this little trick and say this thing and like turn to go to the door. And I think it is that point, Laren, that you feel a gun to the back of your head.
We're really doing this right now.
It's nothing personal.
No, never is.
Laren, you're a good soldier. I have no desire to harm you or your crew. We could have set those charges to destroy your obvies. We're only pausing them. Don't make a mistake.
What exactly is about to happen?
We want the doctor. I think you're both through the door at this point, but past the two obvies, you can see Sabriel at the door, and he knocks and he says, "It's us. We've come to pick you up."
Oh, these motherfuckers.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
The immobilizing tech,
Yeah.
was that a consequence?
No, that was a rival move.
Okay. So I can't use my focus.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
Does Topo just stay quiet here, or is there more back and forth? Also, your comms are still working. You can still talk to each other.
I think Laren has more back and forth.
Sure.
He's not making like a move yet. But he does sigh again. He goes,
A long time ago you said that I was just like Red.
I did.
I'm nothing like him. I'm nothing like either of you. Because you're the one just like him. You pull that man out of that room, you're going to make the exact same mistakes Red did.
You're right, Laren. Red and I will both work with monsters to get what we want. After all, I'm working here with the killers of 2 of my squad members. I will do what needs to be done. I always have. She cocks the gun.
You really want to do another Project Flashbang? Because that's what you're going to get.
She stiffens at that.
Look, I don't know all the history between you two. But I know that you made a lot of friends because Red made a lot of enemies with that project. You really want to go down that same road?
There's a big sigh, and the door opens, and Dr. Cupties nervously looks out. And she says, "What we're doing here is not some desperate effort by Red and zero accountability to match the things that I can do."
Oh, so it's even worse because it's not desperate.
No.
You're knowingly doing this. You know exactly what that man does.
Yes.
You know exactly what he's going to give you, and it's going to get you in the exact same place as Flashbang got Red.
Where it got him was it made him a war hero, and she's going to shoot you.
I would like to offer an assistance at this time.
Sure.
I would like to have some advice come running through, and since were the comms active during this whole conversation?
Yeah, they could have been.
Could I remote control, have some advice, just football charge down the hallway, and then just open the van and pull Laren out
they're not
of the truck?
They're not in the
well,
van.
we're inside.
You could throw the van from outside the door.
Oh my god, suddenly it is important.
I had to step away for a quick second, and I was trying to catch up on what all just happened. And so I thought we were still in the van, but if that's the case, yeah, I would love to instead scoop up and grab the van and throw it to throw off Tempestia and try to pull Laren to safety.
Okay. I'm into this.
I do not want to get pulled to safety. I want to engage in hand-to-hand combat.
Oh. Well,
Okay.
There's another target that you could throw a van at.
Yeah, I was going to say, could I instead then set him up?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
like, can this be the distraction that gives me an opening to not get shot?
Sure. I'm into this. I think that we've got some advice here. So that comes barreling back down the hall, picks up a van, throws the van through the hole, causing both of you to have to duck to the side. I think Tempestia's gun goes scattering on the ground and opens you two up for hand-to-hand combat. There's now a giant red van where you previously were. I'm not even going to make you roll for that, Dorian. I just like that so much. Good. Before I think that hand-to-hand combat is coming or is happening, we're gonna get back to that. But I do want to check back in with Dorian as you now just as like a regular person are trying to like, I guess, do you activate the explosion? Do you go to try to like save your moms climbing through that hole? What's this look like?
I think it's Dorian just looking after throwing that truck, after having some advice throw that truck, and just looking back and looking at, oh, fuck, this is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that freezing. I'm frozen because Dorian is frozen in this moment.
Sure, that's fine. We can go to somebody else.
Can I suggest a flashback real quick?
Yeah.
When we are all gearing up for this mission, I would like to declare light climbing gear.
Okay.
And basically give it to Dorian, carry it with me, but tell Dorian that I'm bringing this. On the off chance that he needs to, if he needs to basically climb up to get his mom's. And when I give him the detonator, I also give him the light climbing gear. So he has the option. He has the ability to get up to go save his mom's. The question is whether he does. So it's not helping your situation at all. I just wanted to give you you don't even have the excuse of, I couldn't even get up there, because you have it now.
Yeah. I think it's just like Dorian looking at essentially what his father figure is. Not gonna lie. That's what the captain is.
Yeah.
Sees the captain in danger. Has stepped out of some advice with 2 weapons, one on the back and one just like shoulder slinged.
Right.
Because Dorian is a soldier at the end of the day. And what else is a soldier to do but to follow the order of their commanding officer and protect them while they make the decisions. Dorian picks up their fine assault rifle and swings back to assist Laren in this moment, I think.
No.
Okay. Well,
Dorian.
We won't get any action there, but that's good to know that Dorian's running on his way back. Actually, real quick, hey Mark.
Yeah.
What do you think's happening in the OVA right now?
Ooh. I think it's like the third act downbeat. Whoever is the protagonist at the moment. Yeah, it's like the Star Wars kind of like 3-section downbeat is like, whoever is like fighting hand to hand with someone has been disarmed and gotten pinned down, and someone else is doing a stealth mission is like suddenly surrounded by guards, and the other person who's like flying around like knocking out enemy obbies has taken a critical hit and is plummeting towards a bad place.
Yeah, I think it's Red and Viridian V and the member that you were cosplaying as, the Argent or Silver or something.
Yeah,
those are 3. I love that. What's Topo up to?
Oof.
Are you going to try to like reconstitute yourself?
I'm trying to think of what I have two ways of thinking here. If my mech were active, and was able to self-destruct, would it be close enough to take out at least the control dome?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, cool. I will not do that flashback then. In that case, I will try to tear myself basically out of the Avi.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I think it could go the other way, right? Like, I think the other thing you could do is you could fully merge yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think you could come back from that. I think you would just be Homer now. And like, maybe there's other things that could happen in the future, but like, that would just be what you were, but then that wouldn't be controllable.
Right. Ooh. So many choices. But where is Sebriel with the doctor right now? They're at the door that's just, north of where you all are. They're sort of equidistant with Barrett right now. Yeah. I think I've got to try to pull myself out as cool as the other way would be.
I think that's still great. I think this is a moment of Topo Topo, right? Like, what is Topo gonna be?
Yeah, I think Topo's got to be a person with a gun.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I think this is finesse.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think you don't have anything in that. But
unfortunately,
here's what I'll say. I would let you roll it as a struggle, but I think that you will guaranteed harm yourself in the doing.
I'm okay with that. I think that's more what I was envisioning anyway. So I'll take the struggle with guaranteed harm.
Okay. In that case, this is just risky standard 1 die to start. What do you want to do?
Definitely going to push.
Yep.
Collateral die?
Yeah, of course. Bang's going to get lost in the depths of Goliath.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Shedding our friends one by one.
I know. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. That's going to be 3 dice.
Okay. Give me that 3 dice, risky standard. That's a 6.
Let's go.
I'm going to go against what I said. I'm not even going to give you harm.
Ooh. All right.
You pull yourself out of this. You pull yourself back together. Force yourself to be you again. I think that you're still...
I'm trying to pull myself apart, and it just hurts too much, and I have to instead redirect that effort into reconstituting.
Yeah.
So I don't leave anything behind.
Yeah. And you do it, right? I think that you're still stuck in here. You can't open the hatch. That would be another roll. But you're together. You're a human. You could move around as per the normal. Azara, what are you up to?
Yes. I would like to get out. I would like to try to bust the lock.
You can do that. You are perfectly situated to do exactly that.
I sure am. Is that a roll, or do I just...
No, this is still a roll, because it's interesting if it's a roll, because you could muck it up. You could do it too slow.
True.
So I think this is a finesse.
Excellent.
You have all the tools you need to do this. I'll even, you know what? I think this is the situation. I think it's controlled standard.
Great. Define, make it controlled great?
Oh yeah, controlled great, totally.
Controlled great. Cool. Is a finesse, I'm presuming, or an engineer?
It's a finesse, I think.
Yeah. Do you have a collateral die?
Yeah, let me just take let me check old Belladonna's harm clock one more time.
All right. So that'd be of 2 of 3.
2 of 3.
Hey, as long as I don't remember where I heard this once, but the only time a ticking clock matters is when you complete it. So
yeah, totally.
I'll take that. 2 dice.
Right. 2 dice.
Come on, big money, no wavies. That's a 6.
Nice.
You pop this open easily. You have Sebriel completely surprised. He does not even see you. What do you do?
I would like to activate my fine optical camo.
Huh?
that is just the cloak that I have.
Oh yeah, I
mine.
hear they make that for pilot size as well.
Yeah, weird, huh? And I would like to, as quickly as I possibly can, some might say verging on superhuman. The only goal I have in mind is to stab Dr. Koppus in the back of the neck.
Phenomenal. I love this.
So.
Uh-huh.
I have a move called Shadow, which is when I spend my spark, I can push myself for a feat of athletics or stealth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm going to use that here to even do this in the first place.
Totally.
I have, let's see, a blade or 2.
Uh-huh.
that I'm gonna declare. This isn't fancy, nothing fancy. This is just a knife.
Yeah. Totally.
And I'd like to. Is this a prowl?
This is a prowl. It is risky great because of you
great.
pushing yourself with this stealth move. And that's all you would need. You just need a great success to do it. Oh, let's drop you in here. What am I doing? We gotta get this all sorted. We gotta get this shot composed. Get Zara on screen. Get Ghost doing some ghost shit.
Hey, this is. I'm gonna push myself. What am I doing? To get an extra dice, I need 3 dice. That puts me at 8 of 9 stress, but this is kind of stressful.
Yeah, that's normal.
I'm not going to ask for a collateral die because I have a feeling I know what it's going to be.
No, who, me?
But just for the listener, what would that big collateral die be?
You know, it wouldn't be killing Belladonna, because I don't think that you'd go for that in this instant.
That's very fair. I would not do that.
Okay. Here's the collateral die. You'll take a level 2 harm, which you'll note you're full on level 2 harm, so it will become a level 3 harm. You could still be resisted and such, but you'll take this as a consequence.
Resisted
harm.
with your 1 stress.
Or armor, right? There's other options.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I should definitely do that, of course.
Phenomenal.
Again, we're in endgame territory here. Azara is nihilistic. I don't think Azara was expecting to get out of this alive.
Too bad about your girlfriend.
Hey, you know,
she might survive after this. We'll see what happens with Azara.
She'll survive without me, and she'll I got her out of making weapons of war, so I consider that a success. All right.
Would you like another assist out of curiosity?
Oh, if you want to assist me, please.
What's this look like, Dorian?
That railgun fires again, and man, those bullets got really close to Sabriel and the doctor. It ricochets all around. It might even hit Ghost at this point. Oopsie.
Yeah.
Dorian, can you read me your Azara beliefs?
Yeah, of course. Reading everyone's beliefs. I just need to get to Laren next.
Mm-hmm.
Azara is hiding something from us. And Azara is a bullheaded, stubborn pilot who will choose his own goals over the squad.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll take that help.
Mark 2 stress Dorian.
2 stress Dorian, that's my name.
All right, so I have 2 in prowl.
Yep.
I push myself for a 3rd dice.
Yep.
I got a collateral die for 4 dice. And if I'm getting help, that's 5 dice.
5 dice, and you can either push this up to extreme, or you can, and I would respect that in the fiction, or you can reduce the position down to controlled.
Ooh, I'm going to put the position down to controlled.
Okay.
You are right. I do always go for the extreme.
Extreme. End this man. End his whole career.
I'm going to end this man's whole career. I'm going for extreme. I'm being very, very foolish with my well-being. I'm going to roll 5 dice.
If you risk it for the biscuit, the dice will accept it.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Yo!
That's a crit!
Yeah, there we go.
That's critical.
I think we see this from Topo's perspective. Topo, you reconstitute yourself, and I think that you get Homer's cockpit open. So it pops open. And in that moment, you see your stealth bro, Azara, decloak directly behind Dr. Coppice and Sabriel. Azara, what's it look like when you kill Dr. Coppice?
I don't think it's cool. It's very quick and violent.
Sure.
Look, I won't go into details, but I said stab him in the back of the neck. That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
How tall is Dr. Coppice?
Big guy.
Big. Okay. I think Azara jumps on his back.
Oh my god.
And just lands the blow. And I think covered in his blood, looks up at Sabriel.
And goo.
Yeah.
And goo and all that.
By the way, he
covered
deflates.
in viscera.
He deflates when you stab him. It's nasty.
Awful.
Yeah. What a horrible guy. Topo, what does this feel like?
I think as I was probably blowing the latches, the emergency bolts on the cockpit, I'm doing that and pulling up my rifle to take the shot as soon as I can. And I'm not looking at it through the scope. I'm sighting at it as Azara decloaks and does that. I think it as the doctor deflates, I do a little bit too.
Sure.
And then just get real mad and take the shot at Sabriel instead.
Well, about that.
Yeah.
So hold on. Let's deal with the harm first, because the harm that you're getting, by the way, is Sabriel tackles you. He's too slow to stop you from killing Dr. Kappas. He's not slow enough to tackle you off his remains and pin you to the floor and just start repeatedly slamming a fist into your face. Take the level 2, which then goes up to level 3, black and blue.
Great.
You can resist this with armor or stress if you wanted.
Well, hilariously, I can't resist it with armor.
Oh,
because I have 4 of 5 of my medium armor. If just I went heavy, I would be able to.
well,
gosh. No, I think this is appropriate.
Okay, so you're just taking that harm, or do you want to? Yeah, I guess there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
Damn,
I mean,
yeah, you're just pinned to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could try to resist this with stress, but that would just most likely give me a scar.
Yeah, you're
which is interesting, but I think I want to let other people act as Ozar is getting his ass kicked.
Totally. Well, here's the thing. I think you are getting your ass kicked, but I think you're giving pretty well still. Because the extreme and then critical success there, I'm treating that as getting 2 ticks on Sebriel's 8-step clock.
Nice. Yeah, we're like wrestling.
Yeah, now Sebriel is level 2 harm incensed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Topo, let's go back to you. You can take this shot. I just wanted to make sure we set what you were taking the shot at.
Absolutely, like, firing into this little melee here.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, aiming for Sebriel, but, like, a little bit mad, so...
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Angry all around.
Yeah, so I'm getting I've got my fine sniper rifle out.
That's a hunt.
That's going to be a hunt. I'm going to push.
Yep, you're at risky great to start. Where you want that push going towards?
I'll make it a die. So,
okay, 3 dice, risky standard. Or risky great, sorry. And as a reminder, when you targeted Sebriel in his Avi, it started at no effect because he had that weird auto ref thing.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that here.
Yeah.
He ain't shit.
That is a 6.
Let's go.
6. You shoot Sebriel off Azara as you do 3 more ticks of damage.
Get off my stealth, bro.
Let's go.
Since I'm pushing, I'm going to add the effect of unleashing a barrage of rapid fire to suppress him. So, like, not only do I hit him, but, like, if he tries to get up, like, he's going to have a hard time not getting hit again.
Yeah, I think he's pinned to the wall. Like, I think he's wearing armor, so these aren't, like, piercing through his body. But he's basically just, like, getting bruised, hit by these repeated shots, knocked into the wall. It's pretty brutal. Let's check in on Laren and Tempestia in this fist fight happening behind this other fist fight.
So
as Dorian runs down the hall after you all.
Couple things going on here. Yeah.
But before that, hey Alex, what do you think's happening in the OVA?
Ooh. Either Tempestia or Red, whichever one is supposed to be, the protagonist in the eyes.
Red in this case, yeah.
Okay. So Red has been cornered by the Noontide Squall in some sort of situation.
Well, it's that shot that we saw in Mission 1 then, right? Because in Mission 1, Red and who I think we now know as Viridian V were running through a destroyed city being chased by the Noontide Squall, the shadow of the Noontide Squall. Mm-hmm. So we get Red being cornered by the Noontide Squall.
And I think you get the money shot of it looks like all hope is lost. Right. And then an allied Avi from Zero Accountability busts through the wall above Red and starts grappling with the Noontide Squall.
Phenomenal. And as we get that shot, we get Laren also grappling with Tempestia. What's this look like?
So, couple things. One, I want to check. Did talking about Flashbang count as dishing the hot goss here?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can take that.
Excellent. So yeah, I think as, just in that split moment where all of this hell is busting loose, the truck flies over, Tempestia's shot goes wide, and Laren is going to push himself and use his brand new ability, Supercharge.
Hell yes.
Nice.
which allows him to act with either extreme strength or extreme speed. And I'm going to choose speed.
Totally.
Cool legs! So, Laren
legs.
is going to turn on a dime and attempt to just jump Tempestia with this extreme speed before she even knows what is happening.
Totally.
And can even, put up a defense.
Totally.
Ed is just going to try and knee the shit out of her with his new giant robo legs.
Yeah, give me a struggle. Risky great.
So let's see. I start with 2. I dish the hot goss, so I get another 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that already puts me at 3. Oh, and I'm pushing myself, so that puts me to 4.
That's pretty good. To be clear here, I would be starting you at no effect, but the fact that you've pushed yourself in this way means that temporarily you're not going to have to deal with this.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Is there anything else you want here, or 4 dice seem pretty good?
4 dice seems pretty good, but I guess I can hear what the
Collateral die?
Yeah.
Okay, this time I'm not targeting the delivery team. This time I am targeting the hummingbird.
Ooh, okay.
I think the hummingbird gets shot out of the sky. Level 3 damage. Your team is going to be okay inside, all of the, the safety protocols activate, but it is out of the sky. It cannot come pick you up if you take this collateral die.
Take it.
Let's see, I'm doing risky standard or risky great?
Risky great, because you pushed yourself.
It's already 4 dice. I mean...
Take it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what kind of corner we get driven into here. Sure, we'll go with we will go with the collateral die.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Shot out of
Love
the
to
sky.
see
Give
it.
me 5 dice.
Yeah.
Risky great.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho, that's 4.
Oof.
Good thing we had 5 dice. That was a close one.
Ho, 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 ho.
So, what happens here is you get hits in on her, and you can see that she is surprised at the fact that you are doing this, right? At the fact that you are getting these hits on. She did not expect this. Her eyes go wide, right? And there's something you can read in those eyes as you're paying attention in a way that you weren't before. And it's something like admiration. And you hit her. Several things happen. The first thing is you hit her and she goes back and she sort of goes low as if she's been hit. But you know better than to get close. But then the alarm starts blaring. And it's not the security alarm that's been going this whole time. It's the self-destruct sequence.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using a rival move for this, though I don't need to.
Oh, golly.
But just be clear, I'm going to use one, so I burn that down and everybody's aware, so I'm at 5. Because what happened here was that, as I mentioned, there's other squads who are doing things. One of those squads who is doing things, and has already done things, is the 86. And the 86 have primed Goliath's self-destruct. This is a countdown, and it is a 4-step countdown.
Huh.
It is not started yet, but this will tick. Not as a consequence, but just as the fiction presents itself. You all need to get out of here before this completes, or you're all dead. There's a second and a third thing that happens here. The second thing that happens here is that in the split second that you're distracted by this alarm, Tempestia lunges at you, and in her free hand she has a knife. You take the level 2 harm slashed. She gets you along the side. While you're still reeling from that, she stabs the knife and buries it into your arm. You take the level 2 harm. Crippled arm. That's 2 of the 5 remaining. That brings me down to 3 rival moves. She then stands there panting for a moment. I think she's bleeding from her mouth. And she says, over the alarm, louder now than she's been before, and breathing hard, she says, "Do you want to die in here? We don't need to do this.
Yeah, I guess we don't, if you stop trying to stab me.
She gestures at the knife that's still in your arm. Can't stab you again. Let me and Sebriel go. You're not done here. We are.
I don't think either of us are done. But we could settle it another day.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to attack her again.
No. I'm attacking him too, as well.
Okay. So you're going to let them go?
Laren is willing to let them go. Also, am I allowed to resist any of these harms?
No. Those are rival moves.
Okay.
Yikes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Tempestia looks towards Topo, who, maybe is reloading for a moment to stop this barrage on Sebriel.
Mm-hmm.
Topo, you did hear all this. What do you do?
Topo is obsessed and continues firing.
Okay. So in that case, I think you should roll this again for me.
Yeah. And while I'm firing, I'm yelling at Azar, get the device to turn our hobbies back on.
Unfortunately, Azar can't move without help.
Yeah.
Additionally, while this is all going on, is Memo contactable? Is it possible to call her back?
It's possible to call her back, but that would open you up again to Baron Bastardos.
I think it is time to call her back, though.
Okay.
Also, point of clarification.
Yeah.
I have a level 3 harm, but I have the move that says
you're
the penalty is
right.
less
So no,
severe,
you can still act. You can still act.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you just have minus 1d,
nice.
but that's
Yeah.
chill.
It's chill.
Minus 1d and less effect, but that's chill.
Yeah, let's chill.
That's chill. Okay. Let's get this shot. Let's get you doing this.
I'm not pushing myself this time, because that would take me out. So I'll roll 2 dice. Is there a collateral die available?
Yeah. I'm going to tick the self-destruct once.
I will not take that die. I will roll 2 dice with hunts. Is it risky?
It's risky great.
Again?
Risky great, yeah.
That is a 6.
Nice.
Go.
You drop him. As far as you can tell, Sebriel is dead. Now, this has happened before.
Sure has.
But I think in this moment, he appears to be dead. And I think that Tempestia, glances at you, Laren, to see if she's free to go. Assuming that she is.
Yeah, I think he will nod for her to leave.
Okay. She goes back to Sebriel. She grabs his body, sort of hoists him, not like picking him up bridal style. That would be a lot. He's a big guy. She grabs him and hoists him like fireman's carry over her back. She does not look like a hero in this moment. She's usually, straight backed, right? Unapproachable, unassailable. And she is clearly in a vulnerable position here. And she does the slow walk across the room with Sebriel behind her.
Can we grab the device to turn our mechs back on?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can take this back.
Great.
She pauses by the opening, turns back towards Laren, and says, "Thank you."
This was always temporary. I think we both knew that. Next time we're at each other's throats again.
I hope you're wrong.
Tempestia, you've managed to surprise and astonish me every single time I've met you. But you've never surprised me quite like this before. Hopefully you never do again. Because hopefully I've learned my lesson and I know better.
There's a rush of air as the noontide squall flies up to the hole to pick up the two of them. You're not sure how she's doing that. As far as you can tell, she's not carrying anything. I mean, both her hands are full with Sebriel, right? But the noontide squall is still acting as though she's piloting it. And she pulls herself up through this opening in this door that Dorian made. And she turns back one last time to look at you, Laren, and everyone's eyes go across the room. And she says, "I think there's one more surprise left, and I do apologize for that. I'll give Red your regards." And then she leaves.
Just to interject here.
Yep.
I think Dorian comes in and catches near the tail end.
Ah, sure, yeah.
And pulls out the anti-armor.
Uh-huh.
The anti-armor weapon, which is a soldier weapon designed to penetrate the kind of heavy armor found on mini vehicles.
Oh?
And just clicks twice through Laren. And there's just I don't know if Memo tells Laren this, but Dorian just tries to make it known specifically to Laren that he could take the shot.
Oh.
Stand down.
All right.
She flies away. Okay. I think you all are still in a risky situation because you're in a giant obby that's about to explode. But I think we can take this next little bit at a slightly higher level than we've been going. Unsurprisingly, the last bit of my plans vis-a-vis the final reveals of what Tempestia's squad was up to, that's all done. I don't have extra things here.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, you know, the threats that remain are not all that interesting. What I want to get a sense of is the following things.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit of juice left. We still got to get Dorian's moms.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I know. But I want to abstract this. I don't want this to be like multiple roles.
Yeah.
Like getting there and getting back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's interesting. Like I could keep threatening you with Baron Bastardos or whatever and like drones and stuff, but like come on, right? Like we hit the high
we hit
point.
the juice. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of like where the character tensions this whole time have been going, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's not interesting. What is I think interesting is I would like 2 roles, or you can tell me if you do the second one. One of these roles is going to be Dorian saving his moms, right? And other people could potentially help with that or help lead that, etc. The other one potentially is Topo saving Barrett, because as a reminder, that was one of your sub-goals, sub-objectives, was to get one of the other pilots out. Now, you could decide, Topo, that you don't care about that and you just want to like go help Dorian get his moms, and that's fine. But that's where I want the level of fiction authorship to be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It's time to split the party one last time.
I'm game for it.
Yep.
Then I think this is 2 roles. Go ahead.
There's also Bank to worry about.
I think Bank's gone. That was a collateral die.
Collateral, Bank's gone.
Yeah.
I think Bank's going to explode in Goliath.
Oof. All right.
Now, Bank's going to explode in Berserker form. Like, there's still a world where y'all could find Bank. And we can deal with that in the epilogue, potentially. But, like, you're not getting Bank out of here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is 2 roles. I think this is 1 role with probably Dorian and Laren. And you can figure out how you want to do this in terms of, is this a group action or is this somebody helping the other person, etc. And I think this is Topo and Azara. Same deal, but for Barrett. What do you want to do? What does this look like?
Those scientists are still over there, right?
They've locked themselves in the room. If you want to go kill them, you can.
I don't want to go kill them. I want to go encourage them to let Barrett out. I don't want to kill them.
That's interesying.
I mean, they're going to die. I'm
not getting paid to kill you, so you can...
You're getting paid?
Everybody's getting paid. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, they'll like knock on the door and be like, "This thing's going up. You can die in there, or come out and help us and not die."
The idea that Topo's like final role in the game is a consort.
So funny.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds fun. Is this a group consort?
It would be cool if it was.
Yeah. Oh man, it's funny you say that because my instinct was to pull out a pistol and cock it and be like, open the door, good cop, bad cop it. But I like both of us consorting.
Well, if you want to lead it, that would be.
Well, I think that both of you are at risk of.
I'll lead it.
Yeah. I think Topo has to lead it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is a risky standard consort. Azara starting with 1 die, Topo starting with 0.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all want here?
if I push myself and go out, can I still leave?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
that's fine.
I think I'm gonna do that then.
Okay, push yourself.
Oh, can I also do that?
Yeah, you both can do that.
We'll both get a scar here.
Totally.
Yeah.
That makes total narrative sense.
Yep, I know which scar it's gonna be too.
Hey Topo, can you give me your Azara belief real quick here at the end?
My Azara belief is folks say he's too quiet, but I totally get it and respect him for it.
Hell yeah. Okay, then that's 1 die from Topo and 2 from Azara. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
It's very funny that the 2 stealth bros last roll is a consort roll.
Sort.
Well, that's the bro part of stealth. Bros.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is risky standard, right?
Risky standard. You just need a success.
That's a 5.
There we go.
Oh, thank God.
That's a 5.
There we go. No failures. They do it, right? They instantly do it. They get out of the room, they release Barrett, and they're like, please, just take us with you, please.
We're all covered in like
come
blood
on.
and viscera and stuff.
Yep. Hop in.
Yeah, I think that you both, you get into your AVs. I think you probably can load the 3 of them into the van, and one of the other 2 of you can like grab it and jump out of the hole, right?
Yep.
Let's wait on the consequence of this until we see what the Laren and Dorian side of this looks like.
Love it.
Before we get what this roll looks like, let's get the final one. Let's get the final set. Dorian, can you give me your Laren beliefs?
Yeah, of course. Laren beliefs are Laren always makes the right call, and Laren feels like a father figure, and he should be protected.
Let's go. What's this look like?
So I do have a slight question. So like obviously on the page,
Yeah.
I can see that Dorian is very high up on that stress bar.
Yep.
Is that something that Laren can actually like tell himself that this kid is on the edge of like cracking yet again under
That's
like this very stressful situation?
I think it is the appearance of Dorian coming in with a fucking RPG ready to quote unquote finish the mission instead of saving his mom's. You can tell he's on the edge.
I think the way this works is that Laren would like to assist Dorian. And he is specifically going to kind of like as I assume like Dorian is getting back in the ballast song and Laren's probably like getting on the shoulder or in a palm or something.
Sure.
I don't know if Mema's back yet.
Yeah, she can be back.
But I think he's going to just say over the comms, Dorian, trust Memo and I. We're going to get you through this. Just focus on putting one foot in front of the other, and we'll make sure that foot ends up in the right spot. All right?
Of course, Captain. Always trust you to make the right call. Hits the detonator to send us up.
All right. Get us back to underneath where they are. I think it is going to progress like that with Laren. Like, this is a pretty straightforward task at this point, I think. I mean, maybe it gets complicated, but I think Laren is just going to try and as calmly and, like unconcernedly, despite all of the, the fact everything is about to explode.
Yep.
Just like calmly walk Dorian through the simple steps of getting up there and helping his moms and, just like trying to keep him calm through the situation.
Yeah.
That is more or less how he is assisting.
Yeah. Are you both in the cockpit now?
We could be. Yeah, if there's room.
Yeah. We can just say there's room. We've never established there wasn't.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So then what I think this looks like is a manipulate roll, since you're in the balisong. And I think this is going to be, it sounds like Laren helping Dorian.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a thing there, if that is what it is, because Laren, you are 3 stress from getting a scar.
Oh, I just marked
Okay.
the 2 for assisting. Oh, right. I should be marking 3.
You should be marking 3. And then you should give me your 3 Dorian beliefs.
So the first one is, Dorian's a good kid and a better recruit, but he'll crack if I push him too hard. Dorian would thrive in a more honest unit, and Dorian will never stop pushing himself. I need to find a way to constructively direct his energy.
This is both narratively true and mechanically true.
Yes.
Okay, so you take 3 benefits from that, Dorian, which means that you're going to be at controlled great 2 dice.
Awesome.
You want to mark the quirk and have it be your final breakdown here? Cause yet another Avi to go out?
Listen, never, I do have last stand.
You do have last stand. Here's the thing,
You
I
still
think
need
you
this
might
thing
need
to get
to
out
do
of
another
here.
action to just get out in the Balisong. So I think that's your dire action right there.
I'm okay with this.
So good.
Okay, I think then you're going to be at 4 dice, controlled great. And your Avi is literally breaking down as you are doing this.
But all I need is a 6,
we
baby.
got a 6.
Let's go.
You do it. You sort of pull aside the flooring gently, and you can see them there, your 2 moms. They don't recognize this Avi. They're scared for a moment until you pop.
What's the head of the Screech Owl look like?
Yeah, it's like an owl. Like an owl head pops out of a hole.
Caw.
Caw, motherfucker.
God. Do you pop the cockpit? Do you call them? What happens here?
I think with just like the Avi starting to break down, it's like a screech. Yeah, it's like a owl screeching into the night as it opens. Wedges open. There's 2 bodies in there.
Mm-hmm.
Dorian decked out and way too many heavy weapons for a young adult to carry.
Yeah.
And a bearded man with a hat and a whole bunch of scars and a stab wound that has yet to be treated.
Uh-huh.
Yep, the knife is still in the arm.
Dorian, oh my
Mom?
God.
Yeah. Hey, Mom. Y'all need a lift?
They just nod tearfully, like clamber up to you and like hug you really carefully. Both of them. This is a wild number of people to get in this cockpit. I don't think you can close the top of the cockpit now. I think that's part of this.
I don't think the cockpit can close.
Yeah. I think there's one more dire action here to get out in time. You want to read that new ability you just took? Your last chance to use it?
Last stand. When you take a dire action with a vehicle, you can continue to act on a 4 to 6 instead of just on 6s. Take a bonus die to dire actions for each point of breakdown your vehicle has until you stop taking dire actions.
Phenomenal.
What's really funny is I took this when Dorian blew up Our Lady of Means in preparation for this.
I think this is a maneuver, right?
Yeah. Fortunately, I got enough of that.
You got that. You get a bonus die due to last stand. You have a point of breakdown. You just got it.
Yep.
So this is 2 dice. This is a dire action, so it's desperate, right?
As always.
As always. Desperate standard. You just need a success.
Do you want to give me a collateral die as well?
Yeah. Do you remember what your collateral die from last time was?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
You will have an opportunity to save your moms, but it will come with a guaranteed consequence.
Ooh.
That goes up to 2 guaranteed consequences as this collateral die. No matter what the outcome of the roll is, I will have 2 consequences.
Ooh. It is a finale. There is going to be an epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
I think 1 consequence is enough.
Okay.
I'll take my 2 dice.
Okay. Let's see what happens. 2 dice.
Let's go.
Dice are 6.
Oh, clutch.
Here's the situation. You 4 do not manage to meet back up with each other. The self-destruct is going too fast. What happens instead is that from this missile entryway that the 2 of you took to you get in, we get Azara, we get Topo, and we get this van of randos plus Barrett jumping out, right? Neither of these are obvies, I don't think, with like mobility suites or like with flight capabilities. Is that true?
I think that is
I
true.
believe that is true.
Then what happens is the two of you drop, right? Because you don't have another option, and you land as best you can, but you land hard. And we're sort of past the point of the mechanics here, but we see both like Homer and like a fox, like their limbs crumpled, only their cockpits safe, but their cockpits are all you need. And the two of you get out.
Yeah, any crash you can walk away from.
Yeah. The van is safe. You two are fine. Maybe Azara has to like hobble a little bit, right? Lean on Topo. And above you, you see Goliath exploding. Do we get anything between the two of you here? So it's just silence as you're watching.
Cool, walking away from an explosion.
That works. Stealth bros to the end.
I think just to glance at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
The van made it out too, right? The three of them are sort of like clambering behind you. I think the two scientists you got carrying Barrett. Somehow you both are wearing sunglasses now. Dorian and Laren, you don't have the time to make it back down. You already had to like clamber the breaking ballast song as it was, as it was literally falling apart, clamber through like the tunnels of Goliath to get up here. But here's the thing. There's a massive hole out the back of Goliath that Blue Sky Endowment was using to evacuate the people trapped inside. And that's your fastest way out. And you take that way out. And it's the four of you desperately clambering through the wreckage of Goliath. Dorian, you're piloting this desperate last action. And then you jump from Goliath. And you slam into a building. And your moms are fine. The airbags go off, despite you being way too crammed into here. Your moms are fine. Laren is fine. Dorian, you take a desperate consequence.
Oh.
And
as I should.
As you should. And you can choose to resist this. But here's the thing that I think happens. Hey, Laren.
Yep.
Which of your two eyes is the missing one?
I think it's it's the right one, yeah?
And I think it's his left eye looking at the image.
Ah, yeah, you're right. So yeah, left one.
Dorian, shrapnel embeds itself in your left eye.
Ooh.
You're going to lose it. You can resist it. You could take another scar here. Or you could end up like Laren.
Well, what's really funny is I have a ability called Never Tell Me the Odds.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, wait, I have to be outnumbered or outmatched by a foe.
Nah.
Unfortunately, you can't really outmatch yourself. So I guess I'm going to match my captain.
All right. And the last shot I think we get before the epilogue and any sort of remaining character interactions we want to have there is the OVA that Antonia Pai is watching drawing to a close. She is no longer watching it, though. As she has stood up, the comms are back on. She's hearing what has happened. We hear her distantly in the background. As the final scene of the OVA plays, and Red shoots Tempestia. Good game.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited and sound balanced by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at cvblight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find them on all social media at Devin Decibel. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, all glory to Calazar.